Today we'll be talking about chapter 2. Chapter 2 is talking about management theory, okay? So for the past couple hundred years, okay, in the field of management, what kind of theory we have, what kind of change about the theory. And before we talk about that, we have open case talking about Comcast, okay? And Comcast is the second largest internet provider. The largest one is AT&T. Comcast is second one. And Comcast is very, very huge, trillions of dollars revenue. And they also what? Purchased, I believe, 2010, NBC, okay? So you can see, in addition to the internet providing, they also have what? TV station. They also produce movies. They also have a lot of other stuff, okay? And around 2010, they try to create a more integrated internet service, which means you can use internet, okay, to log into the internet. You can have what? The cable TV, you can have mobile phone, you can have all kind of things bundled together, okay? And to do that, they decided to have a special project called Xfinity. Xfinity is the project, okay, they kick off. Actually, Xfinity became an independent company now, okay? If you take a look, okay, about my if you take a look about this slide, you can find out it is a trade, it's a company, okay. The current revenue is what? $52 billion, okay, and the parent company is what? Comcast, okay, and so very, very huge company now, okay. And what was the problem? About 10, 12 years ago, okay, they tried to bundle internet service with cable TV, with mobile phone, okay, with different things together. Then in this process, they are producing and design this new product called Xfinity. And while they are doing that, customer may be confused. So they also want to make sure they can keep on taking customer service, customers' ideas and the point back to the product design to make their integration to be seamlessly and to be perfect, okay? To increase their competitive advantage, okay? And the competitive advantage, okay, in the textbook, we mention what? The efficiency, the quality, okay? And they can take care of customer and they keep on using new innovation, okay? And they can empower their employees. So the challenge is because they want to do this new bundling about the service and take care of the customer, okay? And do we have anyone majoring MIS? Anyone majoring MIS?
Yes.
MJ, do you know MIS? We are talking about 4 major components about
Yeah.
MIS. What are those stuff? Do you remember?
I haven't really got into the MIS major just yet. I'm still dealing with business, but yeah.
Do you have the MIS core course, you know, 2000 level or 3000 level, Russell?
Not on me. You talking about like the course like map or something?
No, I'm talking about major components about management information system.
No.
That's fine. Eric, are you MIS major, right?
Yeah, I am. I really delved into most of my classes yet either. I
Okay.
start them next semester.
Okay. How about Spencer Phillips? Do you know what's the major component of our MIS?
Can you hear me?
Do you know what are the major components in the management information system?
Hear me, Dr. Chen?
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Do you know?
Major components from what I know are like data, hardware, and software, and people.
Yes, correct. Okay, that's it. Okay, so major component about MIS, we are talking about, okay, hardware, software, business process. Actually, I think software, I think I made a mistake, huh? Hardware, software together, maybe we have the data, okay, here, then business process and the people, okay? So they find out from MIS perspective, okay, they define for their project, these are the four major components. Technology, how to bundle everything together. Hardware is not important, but what? The technology is more important. And software actually is the key part about the technology. Business process, okay, business process. People in the MIS, we are more likely talking about the program. But here, they find out the most important thing is the customer, employee. Employee will be salesperson, okay? Salesperson want to promote the sales. Do they understand? Can they help customer? Okay, so this whole thing, they determine to use system-wise approach. Actually, it's very similar to what? The major components of our MIS, okay? And so here in the corner, actually we can get the other one out. In this here, the corner, they build up what? A customer experiences team, okay? A multi-functional team. Actually, okay, they also have a software to support it. So if the sales representative have a complaint of issues from the customer, they can enter into the computer, okay? And the managers of the software, managers of customer representative, managers about different area, they are in a multi-functional team. They will discuss these issues and they fix this stuff. Okay. The second thing is also important is what? They allocate the executive budget into what? Different unit. Okay. So this is very similar to what? To the US Army. US Army, I told you folks, okay, it's a big bureaucracy, but to speed up the new weapon system. Spencer, let me get you marked. Spencer. So, so they have what? A task force with what? Each division had. Then they have what? Task team, which different people. Okay, and but in U.S. Army, the task force is focusing on what? The priority of different kind of project. Then each multifunctional team, they do different things. Here, still multifunctional team concept, but okay, they use the high level multifunctional team to coordinate, to assign the different things. They also have information system to what? To report different problems from customers. Okay, and here this company, more interestingly, what? They tied into the budget, money, and what? and the promotion bonus and that sort of stuff. Okay, so because they do it very successfully, and they become an independent company, and with the revenue, $50 billion. It's not easy. Okay, a lot of big companies, if we start to pay attention, I think Microsoft is 50 billion, or oh no, Microsoft is 150 billion. So you have to have some roughly idea about the size and different things. Okay, now we will be moving to the real chapter. This chapter, we will be discussing, okay, management theories. Okay, before I started to talk about it, okay, I think I want to start to talk about give you an example. Assume you are an entrepreneur. You open a shop. Okay. So the first couple months, you are the owner, you are the janitor, you make coffee, you collect money, you do everything. Business grow. You find out one person cannot handle it. Then what? You may hire a part-timer. The part-timer may start to help you making coffee or collect money or etc., all the possible things. Okay. Then after you keep on growing, you hire the second person, the third person, the fourth person. Then you find out what? You cannot have everyone randomly do everything. So Emma, you are one of the 5. You'll be doing coffee. Tomorrow you'll be doing cashier. The day after that, you clean the bathroom. That's not the best way. You have to what? Started to organize things. So Emma is good in customer service, so she will be the cashier and the part-time manager. And Ashley is very good in making coffee. So what? You will be the coffee making makers. Okay. So gradually we grew from 1% to 5%. We try to what? Put all the tasks, group them, then what? Have specific person to do it. If the company getting better, we have 50 people. Okay, then we have to do something different. We have to have a hierarchy. Who reports to what? What's the business flow, etc., etc. The 50 people's what? Relationship has to be sorted out. If it's a chaotic company, then we have to sort out the relationship. We call administrative management theory. So management from efficiency, scientific management increase efficiency to what? More and more administration in terms of interpersonal stuff. If we do that well, we organize these 50 people effectively, we grew to what? A couple thousand, okay? And keep growing, then maybe we have very good structure, administration, everything good. More problems happen. What's the problem? Company is too big. People do not like to be little screw. They like to what? Be respected. They like to be, okay, treated as human being. So we started to have what? Psychological or behavior model. People find out, okay, if we treat people, we understand people, we know how to motivate people, company can continue to grow. Okay, so after that, company maybe 5,000 or 50,000. Then we need what? We need computer. We need what? Mathematical models. We need all these quantitative sophisticated skills you learn from UCA. Okay. Then company keep growing because you use computer very effectively. Then the last stage is what? Open system, organizational environment theory. You find out you are so big, but you cannot be isolated as a single company. you are depending on a lot of input from other areas. You have to network with your supplier. You have to work together with your competitor. You work together with what? Your vendors. It should be open system. Tesla decided to move their headquarters to a couple manufacturing to Texas. Is that just one company? No. Hundreds of companies follow Tesla, open different manufacturing around the Tesla. Assume Tesla need 10,000 parts. These 100 people going to provide what? 60, 70% about the product and the service to Tesla. So you will find out it's an open system. Tesla want to be number one. Tesla want to be leading, depends upon surrounding supply chain. Okay, so we are talking about next level. So by giving the example, I think now you can have a better idea why, okay, we have these different stage. Okay, so you can see the evolution of our management theory. We started with what? Scientific management theory. How to manage tasks and the people by using science. Then we use administrative. Okay, so we have the most efficient way to do things. Then how can we organize people to people? How do we put these bureaucracy together? After that, we find out people should be treated as a human being, not as a little machine. So what? A lot of behavior science, psychological motivation, respect should be coming in. Okay? And then company will get even better. Then we find out what? We need management science, mathematical models, information system, management information system. We can further increase efficiency, handle everything more effectively. Then the last one, we find out what? It's an open system. No company can be isolated. You have to work with your upstream, vertical, horizontal, and it's always a cluster of companies working together. Okay? So today, we're going to talk about scientific management, administrative. Okay, so let's take a look about first one. Okay, scientific management. First person is talking about Adam Smith. By the way, Adam Smith, what's the most famous book about Adam Smith? Anyone know? What's the most famous book about Adam Smith?
Is it The Wealth of Nations?
Wealth of Nations, yes. Do you know what's the major concept in that book?
The Invisible Hand?
Yes, exactly. And since you know it, could you explain what is invisible hand?
Like in general, it is a theory that says that the market regulates itself by so price and demand and supply just regulate the market by itself.
Yes, correct. Thank you, Nicholas. Yeah, so everyone is smart, seeking for their best interest. So market and the economy, government hands off. People decide what's the best for them. Okay, so that's the foundation of our capitalist system. Okay, compared to Karl Marx communist system. Everything government should want. Put hands on it, government control, central control. But invisible hand means what? Supply and demand, the market is dominated by invisible hand. Okay, everything flow to the same direction like an invisible hand in the market system. Okay, so he's very famous for that. Everyone know Adam Smith for that. Okay, but Adam Smith in early on, before he talked about what? The wealth of nations, okay? He started to what? In the invisible hand, he started to talk about let me see. Okay, I didn't have a PowerPoint here. So Adam Smith, he found out, he researched in the textbook, this example. Let's assume we want to produce a product. This product has what? 18 different tasks to make this product. And he tried to make a comparison. Both team, 18 person. This team A, each person do 18 tasks. Okay, so 18 person do the 18 tasks simultaneously. The team B, each person do one task. So person 1 just do task 1, person 2 only do task 2, person 3 do task 3. Here, everyone, person 1 do 18 tasks, person 2 18 tasks. So between the team A and the team B, okay, which one are more productive? You can put something in the chat, okay?
I'll go for it. Basically, those who are like divided into like different tasks will be able to be more efficient than those who are like doing all the tasks together, because every person would be more specialized, be more efficient in doing the task.
Thank you, Omar. Correct. Okay. So he found out what division of labor is more, okay, efficient. People are familiar with your stuff. You repeat the same task instead of what? You keep on doing 18 tasks, keep on doing 18 tasks. So division of labor, he started to preach. Okay. If we want to do a good job to make something, we what? We decompose all the tasks to different things, individual tasks. Then we find out different person to do what? 1 task or 3 tasks, okay? And how to identify the task, how to find the person to do different tasks. That's very, very important. So after that, okay, of course, we have this person called Taylor, okay? Frederick Taylor, okay? And Frederick Taylor, okay, he tried to what? Further study people and the tasks. And he has a 4 principle, okay? So to make the company most efficient, first of all, we have to identify the best practice by what? Task and the people's combination. Okay. After we identify the best practice, we have to what? Write down the standard operation procedures. We have to try and what? Standardize the procedure. Then we have to make sure we have to match person with the best skill with the best task. And also what? We have to award the people nicely. So he is the first person, okay, try to preach, okay, task the people, okay, and systemize then the operation procedures and find the good people with good tasks and to pay them well. Efficiency increase, okay? So that's very obvious, right? So this Taylor is very, very famous for that. After that, this is another person, Gibritz, okay? He found out this is the first person to use the film, video, observing closely to see how people, okay, can be more efficient. So this is the first, okay, 10, 20 years later with the filming machine, film everything. Okay, can the music help the productivity? Can the lighting help the productivity? The wallpaper, the color, okay? The arrangement of table, workstations, okay? So try to analyzing a lot of workers' movement, okay? And find the best way, okay, to get everything organized. And he also find out a lot of ways to what? Reduce the fatigue, job stress, and what? Poor performance, okay? So we can see from Adam Smith to Taylor to Gilbert, okay? And this is very traditional, but this is a very important way to what? Increase the productivity, okay? And decompose the product procedure to different tasks. That's the most important concept. Task and the people combination. Then what? You also have to systemize, write down your standard operation procedure. Motivate people with money and then matching best person with the best task, okay? That's very, very obvious, right? So the first group we call what? Scientific management approach. People want to use the science to decompose the task, make the best of it, okay? And after that, we will be talking about the second theory, and that is the administrative theory. But before that, I want to talk to McDonald's, okay? Anyone work for McDonald's before, or Burger King, or fast food chain? You can even put something in the chat room. Nobody?
I work at Chick-fil-A.
Okay, Chick-fil-A.
I work at Sonic.
Okay. Lexi and Miss the other one. Any of you have minimum wage or higher than minimum wage? Chick-fil-A is paying how much an hour?
They start high schoolers like about 50 cents, $10 or $10.50. It depends on where you're at. They pay different wages depending on like your status.
What's
So, like
the
full
minimum wage in Arkansas? Anyone know?
minimum wage is $10 an hour.
Okay, so they
Ten
pay,
fifty or 11.
they
Went
pay
up to
50?
11.
Oh, yeah, they go up about $10.50.
So how about Lexi, you also get the minimum wage, or you have more than that?
I have more than that.
But you start, and how about other people?
Yes.
Starting with minimum wage, right?
Yes.
So how many people still get minimum wage in your co-workers?
Majority.
Okay,
66%, I'd say.
so fast food industry, what's the problem? Low wage, and a lot of you are part-time, okay? I think you are part-time. Okay, a lot of you folks are part-time. So let's take a look, okay? McDonald's, it's a reasonably reputable company, okay? And if we take a look, their organization, many stores, 36,000 stores, restaurants worldwide. 80% are independent business owned or franchise. So the corporate only control what? 20%. Okay? Large portion of the people are what? Part-time employee with what? Minimum wage. So what's their challenge? So many people are low wage, overworked, and they have numerous sexual harassment and racial discrimination cases. Okay? These are all those potential bonds. Once that occurred, what happened? It's going to affect their reputation. So if something happens, as McDonald in Conway, Arkansas, Dave Wall Street, wherever they have certain scandal or bad things, your mom will say, "Wow, hey, don't work for
I
McDonald's."
mean, I do disagree with the low wages because if you're flipping burgers in McDonald's and you're expecting to get paid like $60 per hour, then there's something wrong. And if you're taking people's order and you expect like a high minimum wage, I don't know, there's something wrong. You're probably gonna get replaced. So I disagree with the low wages. That's not a challenge for McDonald's.
So they give people, you say they give people raise.
No, if you're flipping burgers at McDonald's and you're expecting to get paid $60 per bucks, then there's something wrong. You're not gonna get paid $60 for flipping burgers.
Of course, not $60.
Yeah, so I think the minimum wage is fair, and they're probably gonna increase the minimum wage. The federal government gonna increase the minimum wage. I don't know. I've heard like there's some news about increasing the minimum wage. So I don't know. They're probably gonna replace a lot of people, downsizing a lot of employees. Because you flip burgers, you're not doing some kind of a technical skills or like some kind of a out of the ordinary skills.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing with the fairness, okay, because they're low tech, because entry level jobs, okay, but overall, they are what minimum wage level kind of jobs, okay. That's what I'm talking about. So, and sometimes your nasty boss probably will say, "Hey, Omar, before you go home, clean up the bathroom." But you're supposed to be off 10 o'clock in the evening. Then you have to spend another half an hour. So a lot of these independent owners, they abuse the people. Take it or leave it, right? And McDonald's cannot allow any scandal happen because their logo was $30 billion. If it's a lot of reputation, bad scandal, that's going to what? Nobody going to join their franchise. So they have to really what? Fix the problem, prevention the problem from happening. Okay, so these kind of issues, labor dispute, discrimination issue, harassment issue, these are the potential challenges. Okay, question to you.
Yeah, but not the minimum wage.
Okay, how to preventing this happening? Anyone?
What are you asking to prevent?
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm sorry, I just misunderstood you. What were you asking, Dr. Chen?
How to preventing these labor dispute, potential labor dispute issue, potential discrimination, racial discrimination, potential sexual harassment issue from happening, because they don't want to see that happen. How to preventing
It kind of boils down to just taking care of your workers and not being a shoddy manager. I mean, there's more that goes into that, of course, but
So how to do that? Wise or Spencer?
I said it really boils down to taking care of your workers and not being a shoddy manager, which I mean, there's more that goes into that. That's just kind of a summary, but
the problem, another challenge is what 80% independent owners, business or what franchise, they want to save money, cut the cost.
Yeah.
Okay, so two traditional way. Number one is what? Do more training. Teach these franchisees, hey, you screwed up, everyone get hurt. So please do not do that. Okay, that's potentially go to what? Hurt everyone. So training is important. Agree? So training. Second thing is what? Encourage the workers to report that. Okay, if your boss always asks you to do something after your hours, you're supposed to go home. But they ask you to do clean up, mop the floor, do the bathroom, that sort of stuff. You should what? Report. That's abuse. That's overwork without pay. So they created non-retaliation policy and the email address and the 800 number, encourage people to report that. Then they will communicate and what? Nobody get punished because what? They will keep everything anonymously. Okay, so these two are important. Training and make sure encourage every employee to come forward. But there's another thing. Each state have different labor law in terms of overtime, in terms of benefit, in terms of pay rate and everything. Each country have a different law. Okay, so for certain country, child labor is 16, certain country, the child labor is 12. So they create a new position in the central office, okay, and call what? Global Chief Compliance Officer. This person will have a group of staff keep on what? Audit different stores, different restaurants, okay? Find out whether they do everything, okay, comply with the local or different countries' regulation. And also helping them if there's a dispute from its happening, how to handle different things. So they have a centralized office to do that. Then they do another training. Then they also what? Encourage non-retaliation policy. Okay. So after I tell you these things, you find out it's very straightforward, but it's necessary to spend some money in these three areas to avoid and prevent unnecessary things happening. Okay. Then next one will be start to talk about administrative. Okay, so company task, we grow, and then we have 50, 80 people. Okay, next thing we want to do is what? How to organize these people. And this guy is very famous, called Max Weber. Max Weber is a German sociologist. Okay, very famous book, Principle of Bureaucracy. Okay, he teaches people how to organize a group of people effectively together. In the textbook, okay, 5 different things. Number 1, every person has a position, okay? A position have authority or power. So we have to make sure the basic unit about the bureaucracy is what? Position and authority. Second thing is, okay, we have to assume or assure the position in the selection process based upon the performance, okay? Not because, okay, she's my nephew, she's my niece or something, because he or she is the best qualified. Okay? Then also the authority and the position responsibility should be clearly defined or specified. Then these positions should be what? Hierarchically organized. Okay? You have to have a channel of command and everything. Okay? So you have the position, you organize the position, you define the position, you find the right person, you organize everything hierarchy, you are successful. But no, not really, because he says number 5 is important. We have to have rules, standard operation procedures, and norms. Okay, then we complete the bureaucracy. Okay, so the first 4 will be what? Skeleton, the structure. The last one is what? The nerves. Okay, the how to hold everything together. So in his bureaucracy, okay, theory of bureaucracy, he mentioned about rules and the norms and the standard operation procedures. Rules means what? Formal, written. Norms, what? Unwritten and informal code of conduct. And the standard operation procedure is what? You have to what? Write down the procedures. Okay? So in a lot of Japanese, the German companies, you work for BMW, Volvo, these kind of company, okay, you will find out standard operation procedure will be that thick. Everything is by procedure. Because they learned this from Max Weber. Japanese, they also learn a lot from German, okay? Nicholas, right? A lot of companies have what standard operation procedures, right? You do everything by book. That's the German way.
Well, that's a procedure for probably everything in Germany.
Yeah, see, for everything in Germany. But in the US, we have that half, okay? Certain more structured manufacturing companies, they may have it. But for the sales and different things, they don't have it. But in Germany, everything is what? Stand up, because that's the culture. You learned this 100 years ago from what? Max Weber, okay? So that's, we call George Weber's stuff, okay? And after that, I have 6 minutes, so let me do a little bit faster so I can give you a poll question. So after that, we have American, okay, called Bayo. He's a very famous manager, CEO of a company. He proposed there are 14 different principles to what? To well manage the company, to administrate the company successfully, okay? And 1 to 14. I don't have time, so I'm not going to go detail. But the number 14 is Brit D. Cobbs. This is the French words, okay? Since it's a French words, so people like to ask you in the Blackboard chapter quizzes and in the exam. What does that mean? Shared feelings, okay? So you have to remember, okay, a good management, you have to have what? Shared feelings of comradeship, about partnership, okay? So that's important. And next time, we'll be talking about more on psychological things, okay? I only have one chat, maybe a company vertical conduct apply to, okay, that's good. Now, before I let you go, a poll question. Everyone see a question. Who was the first person to propose an invisible hand that determines the market activities? 100%, everyone's right. Okay, 90% right. Finish. Okay, yeah, 5 people didn't answer. 3 people. Okay, 2% doesn't want to answer, huh? Okay. You can see the result. Karl Marx, what does he do? He's the one preach what? Communism, okay? Max Weber talking about what? Bureaucracy. Adam Smith is what? Division of labor and what? Wealth of Nations book and talking about invisible hand, okay? Since this invisible hand is the core value of our economic system, so you have to know invisible hand. And America, that's our, okay, dominant economy is by what? Supply and demand by invisible hand. Everyone's smart enough to do that. This is proposed by what? Adam Smith.